90s basketball. And here's what he said. I didn't watch it back in the day, so I can't speak on it. VJ, he should have stopped right there.
Yep.
He should have stopped right there, all right? Because you just went on to show your ignorance of it, all right? You said yourself, I didn't watch it. So why are you commenting on it? So here he is. They say it was tougher back then than it is now. But I don't think anybody had skill back then. Now, where are you even getting that from? If you didn't watch it, where are you getting that from? Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe,
are they crazy?
They were like, oh, my God. But now everybody has skill. Magic Johnson, who played in the 80s and early 90s.
Is he fucking retarded?
Years. One of the top 5 players of all time in just about everybody's list.
Yes.
He had a great response to this, VJ, and here it is.
Anthony Edwards just said the other day that there really wasn't any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan. That's what he said. Your response to that, Earvin Magic Johnson?
Well, you know, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship.
Mic drop. That is a mic drop.
He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship.
Ooh.
That's a mic drop. Because Magic won, and you probably know this, VJ.
Of course.
Magic won 3 championships. High school, college, and NBA in a 4-year span.
Damn.
Think about that.
Yeah. That's like some Kareem Abdul-Jabbar stuff right there.
Absolutely. So
right.
what are your thoughts on this?
Look, first of all, I'm with you, man. Anthony, look, I like Ant. I really do. I thought he ran out of gas in the postseason. That's some young stuff he's going to have to. Yeah, of course.
And I think it was emotional more so than physical. Yeah.
And also, too, I would like him to peel a little back on. I like organic character. I like organic personality. But when I feel like you're trying to be somebody or you're trying to be like a person like Noah Lyles, I feel like you're trying a little too hard. Just let it happen organically. But Magic Earvin Johnson, Mr. 10-time All-NBA, Mr. 12-time All-Star, 5 championships, he changed the game. Like, he changed the point guard position forever. And ain't going to change nothing. We've seen Anthony Edwards. He's good. I've seen you before, homeboy. His name was Dwayne Wade. I've seen you before, homeboy. His name was Penny Hardaway, okay? And you not them dudes yet.
He wasn't even Penny.
Yeah, about Penny, man. Whoo, if not for the microfracture. Yeah, Penny was something different. But I love the way Magic hit this back. But Chris, this is the problem. This is where we are in today's sports world where, for some reason, we keep trying to tear down what built today. And I can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't ride with it at all. Even when I do top 10 lists sometimes, say a quarterback, right? Yeah, I got Johnny Unitas there. You got to do your research and put the damn film on. You can't just have everybody from 2004 to today. Right. And I think that happens a lot in these discussions. And some of these young buckaroos need to kind of do some research and watch their mouth, because if it wasn't for those guys that came before you, homeboy, you wouldn't have no sneaker deal. You wouldn't have the guarantee money that you're getting right now. If anything, if I'm that young and I'm that nice, good-looking guy, personable, you got a little character, dog, I'm doing nothing but paying homage. I'm doing nothing but paying homage to the old school cats, because you never know. Your cell phone might ring with a piece of advice that can change your career. Now, who from the past want to call and help you now? They're going to be sitting. They're going to be.
No, right. That you just made a bunch of enemies. Isaiah Thomas responded.
A ton of them. Yeah, exactly.
And dudes, look, they're older. They're more mature. They'll give you a little grace.
Yeah.
But it also stings, and they ain't going to like it.
No.
And they you know what I mean? Like, they'll be cool with you when when they see you at the All-Star game and all that.
Yeah.
But you better believe they doing some talking right now.
Absolutely.
Like, who does dude think he is?
Yeah. And they're waiting for you to lose.
Right. And I actually, because I agree with just about everything you said, but I actually want to break this down.
Okay.
I want to break down what Anthony Edwards said, and let's explore it. And I think we'll have a chance to give it to the callers and see what they think. But First of all, VJ,
let's go.
What does he mean by skill? What does he mean by skill? Because obviously Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I think you agree with that too.
Not close. You're absolutely right.
All right. But Michael Jordan in the 90s was not the best shooter in the league. He was probably the best mid-range shooter, but he wasn't the best overall jump shooter. He had a nice handle, but it wasn't the best handle in the league.
No.
He was a very good passer, but he wasn't the best passer in the league. You know what I mean? So now he had the best moves, and that's a skill. But I'm just wondering, like, why do you say Michael was skilled? He was, of course, but other guys weren't. There were guys that dribbled better than Michael. There were guys that shot better than Michael.
True.
There were guys that passed better than Michael.
Iverson.
But why weren't they skilled?
John
And
Stockton.
secondly, I'm wondering, like, who VJ, who won the MVP on Team USA this year at the Olympics?
LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
Now, I think Steph should have won it because he was so dynamic in those last 2 games, but LeBron was the best player over the 6 games. That's fine. My point is this. Is LeBron the most skilled player on that team?
No.
Yeah.
LeBron ain't the best shooter.
Nope.
He's not the best fighter.
He doesn't have the
LeBron's
best handle.
airballed several free throws.
Yeah.
And I love LeBron. I'm just saying he's airballed several free throws in the NBA.
Yeah.
All right. He is not the best dribbler.
But he's the most athletic.
He's the best passer on that team.
And he's the best passer.
But what are you even talking about? What do you even mean when you say skills? Because I tell you one thing that's a skill, VJ. Post moves.
Absolutely.
Who playing today? And I'm including Nikola Jokic, and he's about the only one I can say because he's the only one with any even decent
Exactly.
post moves. And his post moves aren't great. Really aren't. I mean, as much as I love Jokic, I think he's the best player in the world. His post moves aren't great.
Slow motion.
Right. He's big. He got a little hook, little jump hook, and he can, score in there. Ain't nobody in the NBA today that has a fraction of the post moves that Akeem Olajuwon had in the 90s. Or that Kevin McHale had in the 80s.
Well, if that's what liking somebody means,
There is no one in the NBA today because passing is a skill. And it includes LeBron and it includes Nikola Jokic, who is close to as good of a passer as Magic Johnson was. 3 of the best passers of all time. I would say 3 of the top 10 passers of all time. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. They played in the 80s, not even the 90s for the most part.
I can't fit John Stockton in there.
You said
Yeah,
it's politics, right?
yes,
It's all
absolutely.
politics.
I was about
And he
yeah.
was obviously more
I
90s.
said John Stockton.
And so I'm just saying, like, what are you even talking about? What do you mean by skill? The only thing, I guess, are you saying 3-point shooting? And they shoot the 3 last year, 2024. The average
politics, right?
3-point percentage in the league, VJ, was 36.6%. In 1998, when the line was same as it is today, it was shorter for 3 years in the 90s. But in 1998, it was the same. It was 34.6%. So 2 percentage points difference in 3-point shooting. They just shoot it a lot more now.
Yeah.
And I believe if they had shot it as much then, the percentage would be pretty close to what it is now.
Yeah, I'm with you on the whole skill thing, too. So I have some names down here, too, and some skills that nobody today touches. And I talk about this when I talk about the old days or the old school as opposed to today. Let's just go to rebounding, which is a skill, whether people believe that or not. It's a skill that you most definitely need. You got guys like Rudy Gobert who can't pull more than 13, 12 rebounds down a night, okay? You got guys like Joel Embiid who can't pull down. These guys aren't getting 15, 16 rebounds. So there's not a rebounder in the league right now. Now, I would say the last 15 years. Maybe Duncan, big fundamental. Maybe the big ticket, KG, Kevin Garnett. I'll put some guys like that up there. But Dennis Rodman,
Well, he
7 straight years.
He's probably the best rebounder.
Yeah, ever.
I mean, just inch for inch.
18, 18, 17, 16, 14, 16, 15. That was his 7-year stretch. Nobody's touching that today. John Stockton, I got to throw him in there before Larry Bird because you're talking about the all-time leader in assists. Oh, by the way, all-time leader in steals in NBA history too. Like the man leads 2 categories. It's a skill to play defense and play the passing lane and not and tip the ball. Like, I'm with you. Like, what skill? 3-point shooting, Chris, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate on this one right here, man. In today's game, that you're throwing up so many of them. I don't know if I want to call it a skill.
Well, maybe I would definitely call it a skill.
Maybe an attribute. I know, but let me use my word. An
I don't
attribute.
know how you don't think 3-point shooting is a skill. In fact, I'd say that's much more of a skill than defense.
No, well,
because defense can be a lot of heart. If you have a requisite level of athleticism and strength, then you can be a good defender.
Well, then there ain't no heart today because don't nobody play no defense. If you want to say it's hard, fine. But defense is kind of. Yeah, that's kind of touch and go in today's NBA. But I'm with you on the whole skill thing, and also dribbling Isaiah Thomas's handles, like Zeke's handles back in the day.
Pete Maravich?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And that's again 70s.
Absolutely. And dude, listen,
he's one of the best ball handlers ever.
We can go to Elgin. We can go to Big O. We can go. There's a ton of guys. You and I know ball. We can throw names out from this. You want to go to the 60s? We can throw Casey Jones. There were players. Moses Malone. He was 2020 before we really knew what 2020 was. 20 points, 20 boards. Yeah, Moses. MVP, won a championship for the Sixers. But listen.
I think he's in his mind. My guess is that Anthony Edwards is talking about probably 2 things: shooting the 3, which we already dealt with that. It's not like there were dudes couldn't shoot back then. They were great shooters back then. And ball handling. And we just named Isaiah Thomas, Pistol Pete Maravich, guys, Chiny Archibald, who were phenomenal ball handlers. But here's the thing, VJ, and we're going to go to the callers in a few minutes. I will admit that the ball handling today is better.
You think so?
Well, let me finish.
Okay.
It's better than ever, but here's why. They let you carry.
Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, well, then it's not better then.
But I mean, they allow it. But I agree with you. I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with that. But you know what I'm saying? Like I played point guard in college. I'm not saying I had the greatest handle in the world. I didn't. But I'm telling you, if I would have been allowed to palm the ball the way they do today, you literally see dudes take they'll have their hand under the ball for a split second.
A whole second.
And cross over and go to opposite. Like, that is, I mean, you can do all types of stuff now. They carry bringing the ball up court against no defense.
Yep.
They carry all the time.
And
when we were growing up, you had to keep your hand on top of the ball.
Top of the ball.
Sometimes it gets on the side, of course. But you can do so much more when you have that type of freedom to have your hand under the ball, to hold it for a split second or second in the air before you decide which way you go. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, serious. And so that is why you see, what he thinks are skills. And to your point, it's breaking the rules, but they now allow it. And so, that
is definitely true. That is definitely true. Let's keep going.
The dollar is starting to fall, and the best way to understand why it happens is to think about the physics of energy. Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. But there's also a lot of different types of energy. Like, for example, chemical energy. When we eat food, our bodies convert it to chemical or caloric energy, and over time, we burn and use it. Even when we're completely still, we're burning energy. There's also electric energy that we store inside of batteries. And over time, electric energy also dissipates because of internal resistance. Then there's the energy of motion, kinetic energy. And we harness that energy through nature, something like the water wheel. There's thermal energy stored in heat, which over time loses energy as it gets colder. There's the very violent nuclear energy, elastic energy, solar energy. But there's also another kind of energy that most people just don't think about, and it's the most important one of all of them. Economic energy stored in this.